I'm Steve,
And I'm Les.
and this is another Gen Con influenced Sip and Play. Les, what was another game that we played a few weeks back at Gen Con?
So, in 2022, there was a game that came out called Foundations of Rome. And it was beautiful. However, it's a monstrosity. The box is literally like this big. It weighs 50 pounds. It doesn't, but it's a heavy box.
Yeah.
We got to play 2024's Foundations of Metropolis, which released while at Gen Con. So we got to do a full playthrough of that game, and it was great. Apparently the mechanics are identical to that of Foundations of Rome, which I haven't played myself, but I've looked at it with envy because it's beautiful, but it's like $250. Foundations of Metropolis is a much more affordable game. They got rid of the, intricate plastic buildings for everything. It's all cardboard. But mechanically, it's the exact same. And I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. It's a 2 to 4 player game where you're essentially building out your city. You've got tiles of various shapes. So I guess first off, you've got to buy the lots. So you buy the lots, and then after you've secured the lots, then you can place buildings on them. And they all come in different sizes. And what's neat is you can have a smaller building, but if you acquire a lot next to it, then you can expand the building and put a larger one down. It's done over 3 different years of building, and it's really whoever has the best population, the biggest city at the end of the game wins. And it's that choice back and forth of, do I want to put population, which is guaranteed points, or do I want to put commerce, which makes you money, which allows you to build more buildings? And it's that back and forth throughout the entire 3 years that you're playing that really makes it a great game. Steve, what did you think of Foundations of Metropolis?
I think that's part of what I really enjoyed about the game was because you have to decide, and as you're kind of going along, you're like, okay, I need money, but I need population, and I need municipality. Like I need all those.
Oh, there's the
different
civic piece, which
civics,
is scoring multipliers, which are big as well, right?
Yeah, which really doesn't kind of help you right in the beginning. It helps you a little bit further along in the game. So you kind of have to be strategic about when you're playing, what you're playing. So you start off, okay, I need money, so you keep building the money ones, but then you need population, because if you don't have population, you're not going to win the game.
Yeah, and then when you're building schools, you got to build the schools next to residential areas for them to score the benefits of it. So there's a lot of thought behind, purchasing your lots and what types of buildings you're going to play there, and the benefits that come from that.
Yeah, it was really, I loved the mechanics of the game. It was really, it's almost like a simple game in the way that they've designed it so well that it made it so fun to be able to play. So we even had Eric, our friend, was there with us, and he's not a huge board game guy, but he came along for the whiskey.
He did. We toured a number of distilleries.
Yeah, exactly. Well, as you can see behind us. However, he really enjoyed the game too, because even for someone that's not super into board games, it's not a huge teach. You basically, you need some money, you gotta grab what you want from that money, and then just kind of build on that. So it was super enjoyable. But for us, who really enjoy board games, there was enough of it there it really blew my mind. I was really looking forward to playing that game, and I was not let down one bit.
Now, if you own Foundations of Rome, I do not recommend purchasing this because there's nothing new in that. However, again, Foundations of Rome, a $250 game, that point of entry is just too huge for some people. Plus, the shelf space required to store the game is huge as well. If you don't have Foundations of Rome, I highly recommend picking up Foundations of Metropolis. And Steve, what have we brought to pair with our playthrough of Foundations of Metropolis?
So we needed a really good whiskey.
We did.
To kind of go along with a really, really good game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so what I've paired is something that we were able to enjoy and have at our bourbon night with a bunch of enthusiasts of whiskey. And so what I've brought is a classic. It really is a classic. Castle and Key whiskey from Kentucky.
Now, Castle and Key, Steve, I'm going to be honest, I've never heard of them before.
No.
I've never seen it before. I've never tried it before.
Okay, so I hadn't had it before either. However, I was super excited to enjoy it because I've heard amazing things about it. So a little bit of the history of it. So in 1887, Colonel Taylor built a distillery in Kentucky and was starting to create some really amazing things. The 1920s hit with the Prohibition and it closed it down. And it sat there until 2014. The place was in ruins, basically. Actually, not basically, it was in ruins. The place was falling apart. And so in 2012, a guy named Will Arvin looked at the site and was super excited with the history that was there. And so 2014, he purchased it and started doing renovations on it. And you can go there today. And I've heard amazing things about Castle and Key and what they produce. Put together, what's that going to bring us to? So this is batch 4 of 2023. Look at that bottle.
It is one of the most beautiful bottles I've
really
ever
is.
seen. From the shape at the bottom,
Yeah.
the extra little tab up at the top, like it's really unique and it's beautiful.
Yeah, and I've heard some really amazing things about the juice inside. I am super excited. So, 4-year-old bourbon with 50.5 ABV or 101 proof. I think that if you're going to build a city, you need a key to the city.
You sure do.
So why wouldn't you have a castle and key
Absolutely
to be able to enjoy it?
So Steve, you've heard this is really good. I want to hear the bottle pop. Let's get
Me
that thing open.
as well. So let's see. It's got some plastic on here.
I do want to give a shout out as well. There is a official bourbon club of Gen Con, or maybe it's unofficial. I don't know, but there's a bourbon club of Gen
I think
Con.
it might be a little unofficial.
Unofficial?
However, it was amazing to meet all those really cool whiskey enthusiasts that really enjoy board games as well.
And there's a face group meetup if you attend Gen Con and you want to have some bourbon or try a variety of different things. Highly recommend joining that Facebook group and meeting us there.
But only if you're really into whiskey.
Yeah.
Because it is really for whiskey, bourbon enthusiasts. It's not for the board game. You want board games? Go to Gen Con and play all the board games you want. Only join if you're really into whiskey.
Absolutely.
We don't really want it to get that big because it's done in the lobby of a hotel. And shout out to Roy, he was awesome. He and I think another guy really put it all together, and I fell in love with it.
And this was one of the bottles brought by one of the other attendees. I apologize, we don't know who you are.
Yeah.
But if you are the person that brought this bottle to the bourbon meetup, please let us know in the comments.
Yeah,
We'd
thank
love
you.
to hear from you. Yeah.
It's awesome. So let's pop it.
Let's do it. That was good.
Feel the
was
weight of that.
Oh wow, that's metal. That's chunky.
Yeah.
Wow,
This bottle is beautiful. So Will and his team, like, oh my goodness.
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really good.
The
All right,
honors.
let's pour.
Yeah. Man, that's a chunky beast. I like it.
I am super excited.
The nose is good, Steve. We're off to good starts here.
Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Yeah,
ooh,
I know.
ooh,
It's
ooh,
good. Now,
man.
is that sherry in that? It is. No?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, wow, okay.
No, it's not. It's not
It's
a
just
sherry.
sweetness
It's
I would
got that
expect from a
sweetness
sherry,
to it.
though.
So like that little bit of dried fruits, but that sweetness. I'm gonna say brown sugar.
It smells like,
Definitely.
it smells like happiness.
It really does. I could live in that nose all day long. And we tried.
nose rivals
Yeah.
some of the big guys, like some of the top hitters.
I agree. Although I think that Castle and Key is a pretty big hitter.
Okay.
Yeah, they're super well known. It's on my list of places I really want to check out, especially since they redesigned or renovated that amazing old building in downtown. Like it looks awesome. The pictures I've seen of it, it's on my list. I really want to hit that.
Okay, should we go in? Should we go in? I gotcha. Okay.
All right, let's go in. That, to me, lives up to the hype.
See, I call that complex in the sense that every fraction of a second, the flavors I'm getting from it change. There's definitely like popcorn and butter going on in there.
Oh yeah.
And then there's sweetness.
Like movie popcorn.
Yeah.
Not like popped in your microwave popcorn. Movie popcorn.
I've heard people say buttery before in a drink, but I've never tasted actual butter before in a drink myself personally. Like this one.
But it's funny because it's got that bit of sweetness to it too. Like it's got the brown sugars and like
Evolves constantly.
yeah. I'm blown away. I am blown away by that. So at that evening, so that it's like the Thursday evening or whatever of Gen Con, everybody got together and we had a ton. So from being here in Canada, we don't get a whole lot in
the variety.
Ontario.
We don't
Canada.
have the variety.
We don't have that variety. So I was able to try a ton of whiskeys that I've never, I've seen, I've heard about, I've listened to, but I've never been able to try. Some of them don't live up to the hype, in my opinion. I won't say who. I've heard of Castle and Key. I've wanted to try Castle and Key. It's on my list of places to go, and I am looking forward now to getting there and trying it directly from them. I cannot wait for that. This is amazing.
Steve, I think we've learned a very valuable lesson here.
I really think we did.
And that is, if you're going to build your own city, if you're going to play Foundations of Metropolis, you want to pair it with...
Why wouldn't you pair it with a Castle and Key to the city? Castle and Key bourbon. This is the 2023 batch 4. It's amazing. This is what you want to play with or drink when you play it.
We are Tabletop Tastings. Please like, subscribe, and comment. All of those things mean the absolute world to us.
Please do so.
My name is Les,
And I'm Steve.
and this is Tabletop Tastings.
That it is.
Have a great day.
Yeah.
I forgot we had that bottle.
So heavy.
I know, she's chunky.
Oh, look, Castle and Key Distillery.